We make choices. Get up, brush your teeth or not brush your teeth. What do you want to wear? Red, yellow, blue. Do you want to go to work or do you want to do yoga? Do you want to do Pilates or do you make choices in everything? And we make informed choices a lot of times. Like, you see a lot of Happy Meals, McDonald's on TV. But somebody somewhere told you that food is fried, it's deep fried, it's got preservatives. So it's not something, though it is very attractive looking on TV and the ads are great, it's not the healthiest thing for you. The moment somebody's told you this, what do you do with that information? You will not feed it to your child every day. You will ration it. A little won't kill anybody, but an overdose of even that would create small problems, then magnifying and becoming big problems. So because we had that little information, we are able to make an informed choice. And that's just what I think our endeavor is to kind of, we have today an element that is kind of taking over our lives. It's at the end of our hand. None of us leave home without it, your mobile phone. But how many of us really look into how it works or know anything about it? We have no information about it. So all we're trying to do today is to take you through a little bit of information and hope at the end of this you will have a change in perspective and make an informed choice about even using that particular mobile phone. So this evening we have Dr. Gokani and Professor Girish Kumar and his daughter Neha, who have very kindly agreed. I told them it could be a very small gathering. They were like, it doesn't matter. It's not the size, it's the qualitative difference that we will make once we've spoken to them, to their lives. So they're very ready and very simply. I will first just introduce Dr. Gokani to you. He is a consultant diabetologist at the Bombay Hospital and Medical Research Center since the last 25 years. Yes, he started the diabetes clinic at the Bombay Hospital in 1989 and now he has over 20,000 patients there. He has a private practice as well and it's largely dedicated to diabetes and related diseases but also deals with other lifestyle diseases. He conducts seminars on stress management and lifestyle all over the country and especially in the corporate world where dull ambitions and high stress are an integral part of life. He also does self-awareness programs for schools, college students where there are subjects like morals, ethics, attitudes, values, and these are discussed. He also conducts leadership programs and team building programs which help bring people together. He's currently engaged in spreading knowledge and awareness about the imminent and looming danger of rampant cell tower radiation hazards, which he says are like an atomic bomb waiting to detonate.
Thanks very much.
Shall I turn that off?
It is not necessary.
Yes. Sorry. Sunil, should we just turn this off first?
Main of Thanks very much, Juhi. This was, I always felt that my biodata was a little funky. I did too many things. But I never thought that it sounds so good, especially when it comes from her. She knows how to make the biodata sound good. It's a privilege to be with all of you. It's something that I wouldn't miss for anything. So when this program got postponed 2 or 3 times, for me it made no difference because for me the answer was yes, whatever time it was. And I'm very happy to be with all of you today. So many known faces, and I also feel happy to be with those who I still don't know, but I will get to know in the course of this meeting. Juhi mentioned today, and earlier also she mentioned to me that she apologized that the crowd will be small and the group would be a small, limited group. But I have this one belief, and I must share it with you, that if there is a group of women, however small it is worth addressing. Because when a woman learns something, she goes home and tells everybody about it. And she goes out and tells everybody about it. So it's like when you educate a man, you educate one man. You educate a woman, she educates society. So to me, this is not 15 or 20 people, but to me, this is something like 2,000 or 2,000. Because I know that women have that power to move ahead and make things change. So I'm very happy to be here to be one of the catalysts to that reaction. The subject today is cell phones, very enigmatic subject. A subject that can evoke a lot of passion. Because there was a time in I remember 1998, I think cell phones came to India in 98 or so. About 98 or 97. Someone who travels a lot mentioned to me and said that wait for the cell phone to come and you'll see how life changes. And I thought the cell phone was a phone with a battery because we used to call cell to batteries, the changeable batteries. And I was wondering what difference does it make from the normal landline? I didn't understand that a cellular phone had a different technology. And when it did come, I remember that heavy machine that was given to us. And that heavy machine was thrust upon me because I had to be kept in touch with. So I remember it weighed down my pocket so much when I kept it here. And I remember I kept it like it was some gold or silver in my pocket. From then till today, we've had a long journey. And today, when we look at it, this machine has really engulfed mankind, particularly in metros of this country. It's there everywhere, but it's not the same problem as it is in our country and in our city. The reasons are that the whole technology is a two-edged weapon. And both edges are lethal. While one edge is very useful for you in terms of emergency, in terms of convenience, in terms of connectivity, but the other edge can be very lethal, very silently, and very brutally. Radiation is something that you cannot smell, cannot see, cannot feel, cannot experience. And therefore, when it is the enemy, you don't know where you are being struck by it. You don't know where you are going to be affected by it. And nothing happens overnight. It happens over a span of time. It happens over a period of 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, and so on. So today we stand at a crossroad where we've almost reached 15 years of this technology coming to our city. And now we see a lot of problems. Number one is the problem of the magnitude. And therefore I am now going to initiate this whole evening's meeting by talking the very basics, which I don't know how many people really know about, how many people really bother to find out. I'm going to try and get to those basics which will help us to understand this whole technology better. This whole technology is something about radiation. It's about waves. Now radiation is something that we've heard about. Those of you who have encountered cancer have heard about radiation as a form of treatment. Those of you who read about the atomic bomb have heard about radiation-induced injuries, and those injuries caused so many people to perish, so much matter to perish, and so many people who were a little outside the range suffered so many diseases. And these diseases, even till today, have left their stigma on those people who experienced them. That's one form of radiation. But there's another form of radiation too. So we must first learn to distinguish between these two radiations. Radiation can be classified into two types: the ionizing radiation and the non-ionizing radiation. Now science students will understand what is ionizing and what is non-ionizing, but for those who are not initiated into science, ionizing radiation is radiation that can break up anything that comes in its way. Now we talk about the human tissue. The human being is made out of cells, and each cell has a nucleus, and each cell is capable of independent living, and when it is together and in millions and trillions, it forms the entire human being. So we have millions and trillions of nuclei inside our system, inside our body, and that's what makes us alive. Radiation, which is ionizing, lands on the nucleus and breaks it up. So that cell is effectively killed. So radiation that's ionizing is capable of breaking up nuclei, breaking up long chains into small bits. Then there is the other radiation which is called non-ionizing radiation, which is not capable of breaking up a nucleus, but still is radiation. It has different properties. And both of these radiations have an application for good and also the potentiality for misuse. Let's look at ionizing radiation before we go on to non-ionizing radiation. Ionizing radiation, in its goodness, is used to produce electricity. You have atomic electricity. You have atomic energy, that is atomic electricity. You have the misuse when it was made as an atomic bomb and dropped on Nagasaki and Hiroshima at what cost. And you have also the good effects like treating cancers with radiation, where you can use these radiation waves focused onto the malignancy and burn the malignancy so as to be able to give some respite to the patient. These are the good and the bad applications of radiation, which is ionizing. Let's look at the non-ionizing radiation. The non-ionizing radiation is not capable of breaking up chains, it's not capable of disintegrating the nuclei, but it has a different function. You have all seen the microwave oven. How many of you have a microwave oven at home? Maybe everybody? Maybe at least half of us? Have you ever wondered how a microwave oven works? Or how does the microwave energy heat the food? One thing that was always a mystery to me was, how does microwave differ from a hot air oven? If you put something into a normal hot air oven, and that hot air oven heats up, it heats up everything. It heats up the container, it heats up the food within, whether it's liquid, solid or semi-solid, and that when it heats up, it causes, when you feel it, you feel the heat. Because it imparted, one hot substance imparted heat to the other hot substance. But that's not how a microwave works. A microwave is a kind of radiation which has a frequency which is not ionizing, and therefore it is not that dangerous like radiation of the ionizing variety, but the non-ionizing character of microwave radiation is capable of making a cell vibrate viciously. It vibrates very rapidly, and anything that vibrates very rapidly generates heat. So when the non-ionizing radiation of microwave lands on liquid food or semi-solid food, now when it is liquid or semi-solid, it has molecules that are loosely attached and not tightly packed. Solid is tightly packed, and when it is tightly packed, it has no room to move. So when the microwave radiation falls on a solid, that's the container, there's no room for those molecules to move, and therefore there's no vibration. Whereas the food, which is soft, has room to move, and those molecules vibrate very violently, generate heat, and that's how the food gets hot and the container is spared. Now this looks very attractive to the person who wants a quick job, quick fix. He wants his food cooked very rapidly and served on the table. A lot of research was done on the non-ionizing nature of microwave radiation, and that non-ionizing nature was concluded that the person who uses the microwave is safe from those radiation, and therefore he can use it. And then it was said microwaves are safe for humans. But I didn't find any research on the